quick. I need you guys to do one thing before we discuss all the important news surrounding your Golden State Warriors. If you want the Warriors to avoid the play-in, like the video. Go down below and smash that thumbs up icon. Don't be the one who jinxes it so the Warriors can secure a top 6 seed. What is going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and Golden State back in the win column once again, throttling the Phoenix Suns 133-95. And there's a lot of important Warriors news to discuss after this ball game. And the Warriors continue to cling to a top 6 seed. Yes, the playoff picture is updated after the final games on April 8th. And the Warriors find themselves yet again matched up with the Los Angeles Lakers if the season were to end today. But we know all these squads got 3 games left. And there's a lot of jostling around to be done. The Lakers currently in the 3 seed with the Nuggets and the Clippers there in the 4-5 matchup. But very interesting things going on with a bunch of these teams that are jostled together. Minnesota falls to the Milwaukee Bucks after being up by 20 in the 4th quarter, and they fall all the way down to the 8th seed now. Not good at all for the T-Wolves, but definitely good for Dub Nation and the Warriors. The Grizzlies and the Warriors holding the same record. Obviously, Golden State has a tiebreaker there. Not the case, though, with Denver or the Clippers. So Golden State in front of Minnesota and Memphis, but can't get in front of LA or Denver with the same record. Obviously, the Lakers still a game up over all those squads there in the 3 seed, but they lost to the OKC Thunder tonight. And, you know, all these teams, man, it is getting very interesting with the Nuggets going out there and cleaning house, firing Michael Malone and their GM. Like, unbelievable, unprecedented things going on. Obviously, we know the Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins a few weeks ago with 9 games to go in the regular season. And these teams out in front of Golden State, they have some tough schedules coming up. I mean, the Nuggets have to play the Kings, who have won a bunch of games recently. The Grizzlies and the Timberwolves have to play each other. It's actually insane at this point. And the Grizzlies also have to play Denver. Like, a lot of these teams are going to be matching up here down the stretch of this season, and Golden State is clinging out of the play-in tournament right now. Now, their schedule for the rest of this NBA season is as follows. I mean, it's pretty manageable compared to the rest. But they got to play another team in the mix in the LA Clippers to close the season. Yes, tonight we will be live here at Warriors Today, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But then they followed up in Portland, second to last game of the season, where they began the 24-25 campaign, and then they finished things up on Sunday against the Clippers. So a lot to still unpack, a lot to still be unraveled here. Really wish the San Antonio could have got that win over the Clippers on Tuesday night. However, I'll take where this position that Golden State is in right now. They are playing some of their best basketball of the season in this home stretch. And somebody who specifically is playing his best basketball of the season at this point is none other than somebody who I continue to owe apology after apology to, and that's Brandin Podziemski, man. Another piece of important news for Warriors fans is that Brandin Podziemski has arrived. He has arrived, and he has taken in stride the role of being the primary ball handler for the Golden State offense and the secondary scorer of sorts. Made another 20-plus point outing from Pods against Phoenix, and he was making it happen from everywhere. It feels like that Brandin Podziemski does not have a cold spot on the floor. He can hit shots from both corners, both wings, top of the key, off of the dribble, off the catch. He's been fantastic. How about this little mid-range pull-up jumper that he's, incorporating into his game now? This type of scoring output from Podziemski is exactly what Warriors fans and this roster and this team really needed heading into the home stretch of the season. Over the last 9 games for Pods, the numbers are jumping off the page. Nearly a 20-point-per-game scorer over the last 10. I mean, we thought that maybe Jonathan Kuminga, coming off of his injury, could replicate some of what he was doing before he got hurt back in January. But Pods has been taking over as that 20-point night-in, night-out guy for the Dubs, and he's doing it on efficiencies that we have yet to see in his NBA career to this point. 50% from the field overall. 52% from long range on the season. On 7 attempts. I say on the season, it's the last 9 games of the season, but it's some of the most important games of Golden State's entire schedule. And Pods is stepping up to the plate and making it happen. I love what I've seen from Podziemski, man. And if they can continue to get this level of play from him, not only has he evolved as a scorer, but he continues to be effective on both ends, stepping in to take charges. We know how he's most effective in that regard. He creates turnovers, getting his hand in passing lanes, as all the Golden State Warriors are at this point. He is crashing the glass consistently on both the defensive and offensive glass, constantly collecting boards, and he's really coming into his own finally as a scorer. I love what I've seen from Podziemski, and honestly, I'm not going to even mention what happened over the summer, because I just want to appreciate the basketball and the level that he's playing at right now, because not a lot of guys in the NBA are playing at Pods' level. What do you guys think about Pods, though, as the number 2 scorer for this Warriors offense heading into the playoffs? As the number 2 scorer, do you believe in Brandin Podziemski? I want to know from Dub Nation down in the comment section if Pods can be the guy or not for Golden State when they're going to need to go get buckets and defenses are about to get tight. We'll talk about the other performances that we saw for Golden State against Phoenix, as there are only 3 games left in the regular season. Things are getting tight, and guys are playing their best ball. First, though, I got to take a quick second to shout out our proud sponsor on the program, and that's Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less on those stat projections. Whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, bowling, darts, esports, it doesn't matter. To get the Masters coming up as well, take advantage of the fun stuff they have on there. And combine sports if you want to in the same lineup. And take advantage of all their incredible deals. Like a free $50 in your account when you sign up using our promo code CLNS and place your first $5 entry. If you want an example of what an entry might look like, here it is. And it takes advantage of another incredible deal that PrizePicks offers, Taco Tuesday, where they discount stat projections. And it helped tonight because Steph Curry had more than 22.5 points. Brandin Podziemski had more than 25 points, rebounds, and assists, as you guys just saw. Unfortunately, Devin Booker could not have more than 21.5 field goals attempted. But it's okay, because if you took a flex play, you would still win money, hitting 2 out of 3 on this entry. So take advantage of all the fun that PrizePicks has to offer, winning real money, watching your favorite sports. Download the app today. Use our promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive those $50. So it's guaranteed. Take advantage. Free money. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. All right, let's talk about it, man, because this was an absolute dismantling of the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are essentially not even in a position to be in the play-in tournament anymore, and Golden State gave them a little bit of night-night, the dagger to their season. I mean, they were turning them over constantly. Yes, the Phoenix Suns have been eliminated from postseason contention. Unbelievable. So the play-in tournament is going to be bookended by the Kings and the Mavericks there in the 9-10. Phoenix is done. However, in this last game, man, Phoenix looked like they were just deflated. Looked like they weren't even ready to try anymore. I mean, Golden State constantly got into the paint. They had 50 points in the paint tonight, also including 34 free throw attempts tonight. And Golden State hit 28 of them, 82% from the stripe. Love to see that. 15 to 40 from 3, it's a fine performance, and especially when they were swinging the rock around like they were. 31 assists on 45 made baskets. Love to see that. 26 points off turnovers. I mean, they forced 19 Phoenix turnovers throughout this game, and the starters sat for the entire fourth quarter. Yes, not one starter played in the entire final 12 minutes of this ball game. So just music to my ears across the board, what we saw from the Dubs. And Steph was honestly feeling it tonight. He had 13 points in that first quarter. I loved what I saw from him. But, this is a textbook performance. Like he did his job. He got Golden State a fat lead. 26, they were up at the break. So Steph continues to do his thing. He was whipping the ball around. He was also crashing the glass as well, the beneficiary of a lot of long rebounds. Phoenix didn't want to rebound. They didn't want to be anywhere. So Golden State, even their players who don't get don't grab as many boards from time to time, they took advantage of a lifeless Phoenix squad. Now, before we get into Butler, before we get into Draymond and Kuminga and Moody and some other top rotation players for Golden State, I want to shout out one guy who really exposed the way that Phoenix has felt about the rest of their season to this point in this game, that's Guy Santos, man. I mean, he was everywhere tonight for Golden State and got to hit a triple. He had 9 boards. He was available as a cutter, just doing all the things, being in the right place at the right time, and giving you 110% effort on both ends of the floor. Had a steal as well, had a block from behind. He was getting his hand in different ball handlers, tipping the ball away from behind. Like, it was an all-around performance for Guy, and he continues to cement himself as a key player in Golden State's rotation. I don't think we will see Guy Santos sitting on the bench for long, long stretches during the postseason. There's going to be many games where he's going to be vital, and his effort and his energy and his spark is going to be needed. So shout out to Guy Santos, man. He absolutely killed it tonight, and I hope that this warrants more minutes from him in meaningful basketball games. Jimmy Butler, another stat line is not going to jump off the page. And I said after the Rockets game, and maybe this was a little bit out of frustration, but it was also in a time where Steph didn't step up, and he had 3 points in the ball game. Jimmy didn't, show up and aggressively try to be that scorer. He didn't do it again tonight. He had 4 shots. 4 shots for Butler tonight, but everything was clicking for Golden State. And you know what? Save it. Save it. Save it. I may or may not retract that claim that Jimmy needs to be uber aggressive as a scorer. I was definitely heated, but Golden State, when they're not getting it from Steph, and they're not getting it from Pods, they're not getting it from, other guys in this rotation, Jimmy is going to have to be aggressive one day. And that game wasn't today. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be against Portland. Could potentially be against the Clippers, and it will definitely come at some point in the postseason. I'll be ready for it, and I hope that Jimmy will be able to step up to the occasion. Nothing really too inspiring from Draymond tonight other than playing great defense on, really weak front court over there in Phoenix. He continues to be that connector. He continues to drive the ship offensively and set Steph up and, put passes on the money, a couple turnovers. He really wants to rifle that ball into the paint and find an open layup and an easy opportunity for Golden State to score. Sometimes it's a little too much, and you take what you get with Draymond Green. We know what he provides, and we know how vital he is to Golden State success. Moody, not much from him either. Didn't really have to do much. Continued to play good defense on the opposing team's guards. I love what he's been able to provide lately, and you know what? If he can give you 10 points and hit 2 threes in a playoff game, he's going to be a positive contributor for Golden State, and they're going to need him. They're going to need everybody in this team. They're going to need Kuminga. They're going to need Buddy Hield. They're going to need everybody to step up and play their best ball. Kuminga had one possession where I didn't care too much for his ISO ball and how early it was in the shot clock, and not exactly great. So he maybe 1 or 2 possessions like that, but he'll be fine. He's been playing more within his role. It doesn't show like crazy on the stat sheet tonight for him, but he really continues to be hungry as a rebounder, and gaining more possessions for Golden State is something that only I could dream of, because they're not the best shot creators in the world. They're not the best shot makers in the world. They have the best shot maker in the world, but they're not all Steph. They're going to need to get more possessions, and they're going to continue to be hungry and just be the hungrier team and exude more effort than their opponents day in and day out. Now, before we get out of here today, I want to bring up one more thing, as Gary Payton was noticeably absent from this matchup. He missed this game with right knee inflammation. Dalton Johnson came out with this a little bit before the game went down, and Quinn Post also missed with illness, so he'll be fine. I don't know how concerned to be. There's not much details surrounding GP2's new injury here, but he is another player who's going to be absolutely vital for Golden State, and another player who's quite frankly just been playing his best basketball of the season down the stretch, man. Over his last 11 games, he has been awesome. Another guy shooting 50% from 3. He's also playing 19, 20 minutes a game during this stretch. Like, he is a huge rotation piece for Golden State, and it cannot be understated the impact that he has as a switchable defender, as somebody who's always in the right spot, running along the baseline. He is awesome, and I can't wait to see what Gary Payton, what type of winning plays he'll make in the postseason, because I know it's going to be a ton. But that will do it for today's edition of Warriors Today by Chat Sports. We will keep you updated with anything surrounding GP2 and any further information that we get on his injury right here on the channel. So lock us in as your #1 spot for Warriors content on YouTube. Daily news and rumors videos will be live again later tonight for Spurs Warriors. So lock us in, be there, turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. We'll see you guys all in the next one. And as always, let's go Dubs.